And we are recording. Now let's start recording the audio. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 786. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. You can leave me a voicemail message on Skype. The name is Mike Tech Show, all one word. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mike Tech Show, and also facebook.com/Mike Tech Show. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call, robust remote support for IT professionals and MSPs, providing unattended and on-demand remote access. Try it free by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com or go directly to the website instanthousecall.com. Remember to use the promo code MikeTechShow for your free 15-day trial. Great show lined up tonight. Going to start out stories right from the trenches. A network analysis that my son and I performed last Friday, and the report that we sent, I'll discuss. And I'm going to discuss the hardware and software that we use. Then, access to manage a client's DNS, where they've purchased their domain, or wherever the DNS is being hosted. And oh my, the issues that we're running into right now in order to convert an email for the client. Going to talk about some work we're going to be doing tomorrow, and then 50 free programs from June Maximum PC. And I have the PDF of the 6 pages, which I will link in the show notes. So you have access. You don't have to, you maybe take some quick notes if you want, but you don't have to worry. You'll be able to get to the detail. Let's start with the network analysis. The first thing, and I am reading literally off my summary, that I have network analysis summary for the company name, prepared by my name, company, the date, and the summary of our on-site visit. I think there's tips in here for simple things you can look for. The complaint is the internet. Every week they're rebooting the modem. They have Comcast, and they're having internet issues. It's sporadic. So they were referred to us by another client that we have that's in their same industry. So we get the call, scheduled to get down there on Friday, and the first thing I do is ask to be brought to the network closet. We want to evaluate everything there, because that's going to be most likely something in there as the root cause. So one of the first links tonight will be the Net Alley Link Sprinter 300 network tester with Wi-Fi and distance to cable fault indication. Whew, what a mouthful. This little device I bought years ago on the recommendation from Marvin B. when we were at the Unconvention in Canada. And I had to have this. We use this all the time. It's a little device that when you click and all the lights go, and some may be yellow, some may be, you just got a little symbol for first, is it PoE? It'll actually tell you the actual port and the switch model. You get the link, DHCP, it'll house the internet, and it'll ping Google and give you all the results, and it sends you a detailed email right away. So you link your link splitter to an email account online with your login and network account that you set up, it is great. So what I am going to do is, for everybody in the chat who wants a little preview of that device, I'm going to put our Amazon link, and it'll be in the show notes when I finish the show notes tonight. So this device will let you know whether it's like I said, if it's PoE switch, but it identifies the port. That's very helpful. But it also tests the line, and if there's any problems, it'll let you know. So the first thing I do is generate a test from, I work my way, I guess what I do is I work my way from the perimeter all the way in. So the first thing I do, I plug it into the back of the Comcast router. I run a test. Then there is a custom Meraki router that is configured actually and managed by their parent company. So I go to the back of the Meraki router, which has sometimes, for these clients, that's an issue. And I have to work with the company in order to reset some things or change a configuration. Anyway, test the Meraki router. Now I go in and there's a gig network switch. That's the first thing you want to look at. Any switches that are possibly 10100, you want to identify them right away, and you want them replaced immediately. You want a gig switch. Same for if there's a voice over IP set up in an organization, the handsets, get the model. If they're daisy chaining off the handset for their PC, is it a gig switch or is it 10100? Always look and eliminate those slower switches. So everything tested good so far. Now, there was this rogue network patch from a port on the patch panel going into the Meraki router. That's not how it should be. Was it interfering? I don't think so, but we moved that to the Netgear switch. Next, my son found, he says, "Dad, this is weird. It's like someone thought that this adapter that was laying there, and it looked like for a laptop, and a crazy plug at the end, and they forced it into the phone jack that's not needed at the back of the Comcast router. And it just slips right out." I was like, this is crazy. So we take that, wrap it up, put that aside. Now we need to do some network tests. My son noticed right away the Meraki router was very hot, and it was right on top of the Netgear switch. Heat is an enemy of the network and the network closet. So it wasn't overly hot there in the closet, but the router was very hot. So we formed like a makeshift shelf with a couple boxes and was able to get that off the Netgear router. So problem solved for that temporarily. We recommended that a ventilation exhaust fan be placed at the top of the closet and vented out of that room so it sucks the hot air up and out to help keep that closet cool, because I'm worried about how hot is it going to get in the summer. So now we've done everything there. I asked, do you have a conference room where I can set up my laptop and plug into an Ethernet port? I plug in, and the first thing I want to run, and I will have a link to this, is the software that you've heard me talk about. And if you were at one of the conventions, I've talked about this. It's Newt Professional Network Inventory. I want to get an idea what's on this network. And then the person that I'm working with who knows the layout in the office, I would say the number 2 in command there. He's working with us, and I get this list, and we identify a lot of the desktops, the printers. I'm looking, are there any other routers or devices that could be interfering or causing a problem? Because Newt will go out, it'll ping everything on the network, it'll bring a nice report. You can get great detail of scanning the systems as long as you have admin access to those systems. I'm not doing that. Right now, I'm just generating a really good list of everything on the network. Is there anything out of the ordinary there? We don't see anything out of the ordinary. Now I run Speedtest Net, and now we're getting to the blood and guts of the issue here. And the first thing I notice is we get 58 megs down and 10 meg up. That's a pretty slow business connection from Comcast. So I asked to see the Comcast bill. He can't find the bill, but we call Comcast and we talk to accounts. He proves who they are and identifies that they're talking to the right person, and they tell us what they're supposed to have. They only have 50 megs down and 10 up. Now, with the TV, internet, and a phone bundle, they pay over $500 a month, and they're paying an outrageous price for the 50 meg down and 10 up. And clearly, we are going to be able to lower the bill and get into a better package. They have been out of contract for more than 2 years. So accounts connects us to retention. And that is the magic word, retention. The retention for an internet provider, that person is the only one who can completely reduce a bill, because he will not get penalized for doing that. Where anybody else, they'll get penalized internally if they reduce a bill. So the next thing, you got to get the ID of the person you're talking to. So if they make any promises or tell you you're going to get a refund for something, you better have that person's first name and ID. So when you're communicating back with billing for some reason or whatever, you can reference that. So we get the ID. We know this because my oldest son used to work for Comcast. Now he is really helping us. We're going to get 300 meg down, 30 megs up, while lowering the bill $50. Phenomenal. Keep everything the same. We're just going to lower the bill. As a matter of fact, he reviews everything just to make sure, the one TV connection, all of the phone numbers and the phones, that was perfect. So we really liked the person that we got from retention. Now we talk about the constant outages. We give them the MAC address, which they can see for the Comcast router they have. It's a very old router. We got a problem. Let's get that replaced. So he said there's going to be a $69 fee. I said, wait a second. How can you charge a fee for a visit when they have an existing problem? I said, take a look. He says, yes, I see the calls. I said, well, then why are they being charged? He says, you'll be charged, but then you'll get a credit, and I'll put a credit on the bill. That is another reason that you have to have their ID, because now he promised a $69 credit on the bill. So now he has to transfer us to scheduling to get the router replaced. So now we ask for that person's ID from scheduling. He set up for a router replacement. This was last Friday. The replacement is Monday morning, which, by the way, that router replacement went perfect, and they are running great so far with no issues. The router replacement, we work out a time. We don't have to be there. They're just going to swap it out, keep the same static IP address and all the settings, no problem. And I asked for the Comcast ticket number. Now, this could be any ISP, but I wanted you to let you know the process. We're only there an hour and a half, and I have a great report that I get to send them documenting everything that I just discussed. I put the Comcast person's names, their IDs, and exactly what was promised, exactly what's happening. I hope to just get other new business from this customer, from this new client, because I think we made an impact with their, with the performance now of the network. Now, interesting, in the chat, dealing with Comcast is always an adventure. Yes, but I want to give you a tip. If you call Comcast, I don't care, it's tech support, if you don't like the answer you're getting and you don't feel comfortable, just say thank you, hang up, wait a few minutes, dial back, get another person. Do this until you get the answer you want. I've done this many, many times. Just keep at it. Now, if there's no way, if you want unrealistic things, then it's not going to happen. As long as you're reasonable and you'll get the right person. And don't argue, don't fight. It's not worth it. I wish I could take my own advice. I can't do that all the time. Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to share all of that because hopefully there'll be a little tip in there for you if you are in that situation doing a network analysis and trying to troubleshoot and help a client. So this Friday afternoon, actually like late afternoon and all day Saturday, I had scheduled an email migration that I'm going to be doing remotely for a client. We do have someone in Ohio who's actually a listener who is the feet on the street and can get into the facility if we need them. I already have my RMM Synchro on all of the devices that all but one, we found out. Here's the issue. We can't get access to their DNS for the email migration. So if they have domain ABC, and let's say it's hosted by GoDaddy. Well, when I went to log in with the password, it actually is correct. It needed to authenticate for a two-factor authentication. And, well, actually, I just don't think it believed me. I don't think it's true two-factor. But it needed to send a code to an email account that they don't give you the entire email. They gave me the first letter. Well, the person that is going to get that is on vacation and unavailable. Won't be back till next week. All right, game over for that because we got to be able to change the MX records since we're taking over the email. And I'm just going to migrate them from where they're at, which is a whole nother story. And let's say a hostile IT company that we are replacing. We want to take that email. I got to export it all. And then I'm just going to set them up on SureWeb and for hosted exchange and import all their mail, get them all set up. That's problem one. There is two domains. So the other domain, we can't even get in at all. The password reset, we have no idea what email it's going to because it's certainly nobody that we have access. That's a little bigger problem. So today, I canceled that migration and we've scheduled it for July 2nd and 3rd. So keeping our fingers crossed. Anybody who's been in this situation, it's all about the DNS and you got to have full access. And this is unfortunately a common problem, but this looks like it's going to be a little more difficult to solve. All right. Before I get into the big topic for the 50 free programs, I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I have another dental office for work where we're going to install an Untangled firewall and then their credit card processing machine. They are failing PCI compliance with their bank. So I know exactly what we have to do. and we're going to have a separate network line to a small, separate, independent router that this line will not have anybody on that line or anything on that connection cannot see or communicate with the rest of the network. That will pass PCI compliance test. So we're going to make that all happen tomorrow afternoon. All right. We have been extremely busy and very, very happy. So I'm looking through, I need some topics for tonight that's not just in the trenches and email. I want something a little different. I'm reading June PC Magazine and, June Maximum PC. And there is a section, the best of the freebies, 50 completely free programs you should install on your PC. So in the show notes, you don't have to worry. I put the PDF together and made sure it's available to download. I'm putting it in the chat and it will be available. So you don't have to worry. You download that PDF and I am going to start reading from that very PDF. So for maintenance and repair, I love some of these programs. Tech Power Up is one. CPU ID, so you can get the ID of the CPU. Now, there's a very popular program that, they have CCleaner, which I'll use. There's a popular program that I guess the best way to describe it is Winder, and this is where you can get a graphical representation of the directory. I actually like the program Tree Size free. I think that's better. Now we got Crystal Mark, so you can see how efficient your computer is and how good is it running. There is, let's keep going. Gamers Toolbox. There's a whole bunch of downloads, essential free games, and Steam. I'm not a gamer, but if you like games, you should definitely check it out. I'm going to pause. I want to bring up the way I have it. Last I heard, CCleaner was bad. No. A CCleaner got a lot better now. So we use it. We install it. We don't register it. We don't want anybody to register it. And then we uninstall it. We only use the portable. And we clean the registry. And then we're very careful what we're selecting for all the browsers. We like to clean the cache of the browsers. So what I want to do is I'm bringing up, and I want to find this before I start the audio recording again. Let's... It will not let me. Okay. Back in 2014, Ryan Block had the nightmare call trying to leave Comcast dealing with the retention department. Really? If you get, if it's not going well, you get rid of them. You get another person. So, hold on. Okay. Sorry it's taking so long here. If you watch the video, you're getting a little bit behind the scenes. If you're audio only, you are not getting this. So from the download, I couldn't get to what I was looking for, and I'm hoping that this is it. I am maximizing this. Let me scroll down. Let's make this smaller, though. There we go. Come on. I got the whole PDF of that issue. And I'm just making sure, jumping into 3D printing. Hold on, there we go. Give me a second. Oh, it still doesn't look good. Okay, I'm going to have to keep going here. All right. Will retention help us for AT&T? Yes. Retention is good. If you don't get the right person in retention, call back. Okay. I was trying to find something better to read for me to read this. Now, you have creativity and productivity section, which is great. They are programs like the Audacity, which you know I use all the time, Handbrake. They gotcode.org, Focuswriter. That's a little program I talked about a while ago to help you run with the clean interface where it won't interrupt you, to kind of just let you write. There are tremendous programs on graphics. GIMP at gimp.org. Sort of like a free Photoshop almost. And there are so many others. There's 50 programs. Blackmagic Design. LibreOffice. You can go to LibreOffice.org and you get, if you don't need Word and Excel, but you want something close and you don't want to spend any money, well, LibreOffice is a great option for someone. Now, if you're dealing with a big business and lots of customers and things where I have to have Microsoft Office. But if you got someone, they're on a budget, they can't afford it, they can't afford maybe that $99. Well, LibreOffice is a great option. Let's see. I'm trying to pick out just some of the essentials. Here you go. rammichael.com 7-taskbar tweaker. Launchbox-app. There's also sites for getting the proper drivers like NVIDIA, MSI, because just even programs directly from Microsoft. Folder Maker, free. That's another good program. Now, we had a little discussion when I paused on CCleaner, and in the past, there was a problem with CCleaner, that it was being bundled with malware. And boy, they took a big hit for that. I strongly recommend only using the portable version. And if it installs anything or sets up anything, uninstall it the minute you're done. We do this on client systems. So we run many different utilities and then make sure it's cleaned up and uninstalled. And again, another program which you might want to look at, that you can buy the tech license for unlimited use, and that's UVK Ultra Virus Killer, because you can check all the programs you want and you can to run, and then you can check a box to uninstall them when it's all finished. That's a great little utility and program. All right. That is it for tonight. I want to thank everybody for staying subscribed and downloading the show. If you purchase anything from Amazon and you got Amazon Prime Days coming up, the 20th and the 21st, please use the Amazon link that Carrie Holzman and I share. This link, when you click it, or I recommend please bookmarking it, so you'll never, ever have a problem to be able to hold on a second, because it always disrupts me. I'm just gonna say the word mod anyway. For Amazon, if you click on the link, it'll bring you back to Amazon. Your price stays the same, but a small commission comes back to support the show, and it will be it is. I'm gonna have to clean this up. Hold on. That is the best way to support Carrie Holzman, myself, the Mike Tech Show, Tech Vets, and also Carrie's videos. Fabs Auto Backup 7 Pro. That is the best program for transferring files from one system to another. It's the best. And the link is in the show notes. Check it out, and you will be happy. And of course, we thank Instant House Call for continuing to be a sponsor of the show. If you are an IT pro or MSP, this is what you want for remote access for your clients. That's it for tonight's show. I will see you back here next week, same time, same channel. Bye-bye, everybody. Hold on.